Listen carefully because what I'm about to share with you has the power to completely transform how you experience every single day of your life. There's something remarkable that successful people throughout history have understood. The first moments after waking up determine everything that follows. Most people wake up and immediately check their phones, letting the chaos of the world flood their minds before they've even had a chance to set their own intentions. They start their day reactive, scattered, and already defeated. But you're about to learn a different way. The way of those who take control of their minds, their emotions, and their destiny from the very first breath of each new day. The human mind is incredibly powerful, but most people never learn how to harness that power. Your subconscious mind is like a fertile garden. It will grow whatever seeds you plant in it. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation, that's what will flourish in your life. But if you plant seeds of confidence, courage, and possibility, you'll create a completely different reality. Today, I'm going to give you 15 powerful things you must tell yourself every morning that will serve as those seeds. These aren't just pretty words or wishful thinking. These are scientifically backed statements that, when spoken with conviction and emotion, literally rewire your brain for success. They activate the reticular activating system in your brain, which acts like a spotlight, highlighting opportunities and solutions that align with your stated intentions. But here's the crucial part. These powerful statements only work if you commit to the process. You can't just say them once and expect miracles. You must speak them every single morning with absolute conviction for at least 30 days to begin seeing real transformation. Think of it like going to the gym. One workout won't build muscle, but consistent daily effort will transform your entire physique. The same principle applies to your mind. Are you ready? Let's begin with the first powerful thing you must tell yourself that will set the foundation for everything else. 1. Today is a new chance to begin again. Every morning when you wake up, you are standing at the threshold of infinite possibility, no matter what happened yesterday. Whether you failed, made mistakes, or fell short of your expectations, that's all in the past. Today is a blank page, and you hold the pen. Most people wake up carrying the weight of yesterday's failures, yesterday's rejections, yesterday's disappointments. They let the past contaminate the present and poison their potential future. But successful people understand a fundamental truth. Every sunrise is nature's way of telling you that it's time to start fresh. When you say, "Today is a new chance to begin again," you're not just speaking words. You're making a declaration of independence from your past limitations. You're telling your subconscious mind that you refuse to be defined by what happened before, and you're open to creating something entirely new. Think about this. Every great achievement in history began with someone deciding to start again despite previous setbacks. Thomas Edison failed over 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb, but each morning he woke up seeing it as a new chance to find the solution. Abraham Lincoln lost numerous elections before becoming president, but he never let past defeats determine his future actions. Your past does not equal your future unless you let it. Today is your opportunity to write a new chapter, make different choices, and move in a new direction. When you truly embrace this statement, you free yourself from the prison of regret and open yourself to the power of possibility. 2. Fear will not decide my choices today. Fear is perhaps the greatest thief of human potential. It whispers lies in your ear, telling you that you're not capable, that you'll fail, that it's safer to stay where you are. Fear convinces millions of people to live small lives, to avoid taking risks, to settle for mediocrity rather than reach for greatness. But here's what most people don't understand. Fear is not your enemy, it's information. Fear often points you toward exactly what you need to do to grow. The thing you're most afraid of is usually the very thing that will set you free. When you declare that fear will not decide my choices today, you're not saying you won't feel fear. You're saying that despite feeling fear, you will act according to your values, your goals, and your vision for your life. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's feeling the fear and choosing to act anyway. Consider every person who has ever achieved something significant. They all felt fear. The entrepreneur starting their first business is terrified of failure. The artist sharing their work is afraid of rejection. The person asking for a promotion is scared of being turned down. But they act despite the fear, and that's what separates them from those who remain stuck. Your comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. Every time you choose courage over comfort, action over avoidance, you expand your capacity for success. You build confidence not by avoiding scary situations, but by facing them and discovering that you're stronger than you thought. Make this declaration every morning and throughout the day. When fear tries to influence your decisions, remind yourself, I feel the fear, but I choose courage. 3. I trust myself to make the right decisions. Self-doubt is one of the most crippling mental habits you can develop. When you constantly second-guess yourself, you create paralysis. You become like a deer in headlights, frozen by the fear of making the wrong choice. But here's a liberating truth. There are no perfect decisions. There are only decisions, and then the commitment to make those decisions work. Every successful person has made countless wrong decisions, but they trusted themselves to learn, adapt, and course-correct along the way. When you tell yourself, I trust myself to make the right decisions, you're building one of the most valuable assets you can possess, self-confidence. You're telling your subconscious mind that you believe in your judgment, your intuition, and your ability to navigate life's challenges. This doesn't mean you'll never make mistakes. It means you trust yourself to learn from those mistakes and make better decisions in the future. It means you value your own opinion and stop giving your power away to others who might not have your best interests at heart. Think about the decisions you've made in your life so far. Even the ones that seemed wrong at the time probably taught you valuable lessons that helped you make better choices later. You have more wisdom than you give yourself credit for. You've survived every challenge life has thrown at you so far. That's evidence that you can trust yourself. Trust is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Start making decisions from a place of self-trust rather than self-doubt, and watch how your confidence grows. 4. My future is driven by my own decisions. This statement is about taking complete ownership of your life. Most people live as victims of circumstance, believing that their future is determined by external forces, the economy, their family background, their education, or just plain luck. But the truth is that your future is being created right now by the decisions you make every single day. Every choice you make is a vote for the kind of person you want to become and the kind of life you want to live. Choose to exercise, and you're voting for health. Choose to read instead of watching TV, and you're voting for knowledge. Choose to save money instead of spending it, and you're voting for financial freedom. The most successful people in the world understand this principle deeply. They don't wait for external circumstances to change. They change their circumstances through the power of decision. They take responsibility not just for their actions, but for their reactions to everything that happens to them. This is incredibly empowering because it means you're not at the mercy of outside forces. You might not control what happens to you, but you absolutely control how you respond to what happens to you, and your responses, accumulated over time, create your destiny. When you truly embrace this statement, you stop looking for someone to blame and start looking for ways to improve. You stop waiting for permission and start taking action. You stop being a passenger in your own life and become the driver. Remember, if you're not making decisions about your life, someone else is making them for you. Take back your power by consciously choosing your path forward. 5. I am grateful for what I have and what's coming. Gratitude is perhaps the most powerful emotion you can cultivate. It has the remarkable ability to instantly shift your mental state from scarcity to abundance, from anxiety to peace, from frustration to joy. But gratitude isn't just about feeling good, it's about creating good. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you train your brain to notice more things to be grateful for. This is because your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters information, starts looking for evidence to support your grateful mindset. Suddenly, you start noticing small blessings you previously overlooked. But this statement goes beyond just being grateful for what you currently have. It includes being grateful for what's coming. This is about having faith in your future, trusting that good things are on their way to you. This kind of anticipatory gratitude creates a magnetic quality that actually attracts positive experiences into your life. Think about it. When you're genuinely grateful and optimistic, you become more attractive to others. People want to be around positive energy. Opportunities seem to flow more easily. Doors open that were previously closed. This isn't mystical thinking. It's the natural result of approaching life with an attitude of appreciation and expectation. Gratitude also provides perspective during difficult times. When you're focused on what you appreciate, problems don't disappear, but they don't overwhelm you either. You maintain the mental clarity needed to find solutions and the emotional resilience needed to persist through challenges. Make gratitude a daily practice and watch how it transforms not just your mood, but your entire life experience. 6. I grow stronger and sharper every day. Growth is the natural state of all living things. A tree doesn't try to grow, it simply grows because that's its nature. The same is true for human beings. We are designed to expand, to learn, to become more than we were yesterday. But unlike trees, we have a choice about whether we embrace this growth or resist it. When you declare, "I grow stronger and sharper every day," you're aligning yourself with your natural tendency toward improvement. You're programming your mind to look for ways to develop your capabilities, expand your knowledge, and strengthen your character. This statement covers both physical and mental development. Stronger refers to your emotional resilience, your physical health, your spiritual foundation, all the sources of strength that help you handle whatever life brings. Sharper refers to your mental acuity, your skills, your wisdom, all the capabilities that help you navigate challenges and seize opportunities. The key is understanding that growth doesn't happen by accident. It requires intention and effort. Every day, you have countless micro opportunities to grow stronger and sharper. You can choose to read instead of scrolling social media. You can choose to have a difficult conversation instead of avoiding it. You can choose to exercise instead of being sedentary. These small choices might seem insignificant in the moment, but they compound over time. The person who grows just 1% better each day will be 37 times better by the end of the year. That's the power of consistent, incremental improvement. Remember, you're either growing or you're dying. There's no standing still in life. By consciously choosing growth every day, you ensure that you're constantly becoming a better version of yourself. 7. I am capable of handling any challenge today. Life will test you. That's not a possibility. It's a certainty. Challenges, obstacles, and unexpected problems are part of the human experience. The question isn't whether you'll face difficulties, but how you'll respond when you do. This statement builds what psychologists call self-efficacy, the belief in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. When you truly believe you can handle any challenge, you approach problems with confidence rather than anxiety. You see obstacles as puzzles to solve rather than threats to avoid. Here's the evidence that supports this statement. You're still here. You've faced challenges before and survived them all. Think about the most difficult period of your life. You made it through. Every setback you've experienced has taught you something. Every problem you've solved has made you better equipped to handle the next one. The human capacity for adaptation and resilience is extraordinary. People have survived wars, natural disasters, financial ruin, heartbreak, and countless other challenges. They've not just survived, they've often emerged stronger and wiser. You have this same capacity within you. When you face a challenge today, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "How is this making me stronger?" Instead of thinking, "I can't handle this," remind yourself, "I've handled difficult things before, and I can handle this too." This mindset doesn't make challenges disappear, but it transforms your relationship with them. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become a navigator of them. You develop what military personnel call tactical optimism, the ability to remain confident and solution-focused even in difficult situations. 8. My time is valuable, and I will use it wisely. Time is the one resource that's truly irreplaceable. Once it's gone, you can never get it back. Yet, most people treat time as if it's unlimited. They waste hours on activities that don't move them toward their goals, don't bring them joy, and don't add value to their lives. When you declare that your time is valuable and you'll use it wisely, you're making a commitment to conscious living. You're saying that you'll be intentional about how you spend your hours rather than just letting time slip away without purpose. This doesn't mean every moment needs to be productive in the traditional sense. Rest, relaxation, and recreation are valuable uses of time when they're chosen consciously. The problem comes when you waste time unconsciously, scrolling social media without purpose, watching shows you don't enjoy, or engaging in activities that leave you feeling empty. Wise time use means aligning your daily activities with your values and goals. It means saying no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great ones. It means protecting your time from other people's urgencies so you can focus on your own priorities. Think about the most successful people you know or admire. They all share one characteristic. They're extremely intentional about how they use their time. They understand that time is their most precious asset and they guard it accordingly. Start treating your time like the valuable resource it is. Schedule important activities first. Eliminate or minimize time-wasting activities. Be present in whatever you're doing rather than multitasking poorly. Your future self will thank you for the time you invest wisely today. 9. I focus only on what I can control. This statement is based on one of the most fundamental principles of mental health and effectiveness: the serenity to accept what you cannot control, the courage to change what you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Most people waste enormous amounts of mental and emotional energy worrying about things beyond their control. Other people's opinions, the weather, traffic, politics, the past, the distant future. This energy expenditure not only creates stress and anxiety, but it also robs you of the focus and energy needed to influence the things you actually can control. What can you control? Your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, your responses, your effort, your attitude, your preparation, your choices. These are powerful levers that, when used consistently, can dramatically impact your life experience. When you focus exclusively on your circle of control, several things happen. First, you become more effective because you're directing your energy where it can actually make a difference. Second, you become less stressed because you're not fighting battles you can't win. Third, you often find that as you focus on what you can control, your circle of influence naturally expands. This principle is especially important during challenging times. When external circumstances are chaotic, your ability to control your internal response becomes even more valuable. You can't control an economic recession, but you can control how hard you work to improve your skills. You can't control other people's behavior, but you can control how you react to it. Practice this statement daily, and whenever you feel stressed or overwhelmed, ask yourself, is this something I can control? If yes, take action. If no, let it go and redirect your energy towards something you can influence. 10. I treat myself with kindness and respect. The relationship you have with yourself is the foundation of every other relationship in your life. If you're constantly critical, harsh, and demanding with yourself, you'll likely extend that same energy to others. But if you treat yourself with kindness and respect, you'll naturally be more compassionate and patient with everyone around you. Most people are their own worst critics. They speak to themselves in ways they would never speak to a friend. They set impossible standards and then berate themselves for not meeting them. They focus on their flaws while ignoring their strengths. This internal dialogue creates a constant state of stress and dissatisfaction. But what if you decided to become your own best friend instead of your own worst enemy? What if you spoke to yourself with the same kindness you'd show someone you care about? What if you celebrated your efforts even when the results weren't perfect? Self-kindness isn't about lowering your standards or making excuses for poor performance. It's about recognizing that you're human, that growth takes time, and that beating yourself up has never been an effective motivation strategy. In fact, research shows that self-compassion actually leads to higher achievement than self-criticism because it creates the psychological safety needed for risk-taking and learning. Treating yourself with respect means honoring your needs for rest, for nutrition, for relationships, for growth, for joy. It means setting boundaries that protect your time and energy. It means refusing to accept treatment from others that you wouldn't accept for someone you love. When you consistently treat yourself with kindness and respect, you raise your standards for how others treat you as well. You attract healthier relationships and better opportunities because you're modeling the behavior you expect from the world. 11. I am responsible for creating my own life. This is perhaps the most empowering and simultaneously challenging statement on this list. It's empowering because it puts you in control of your destiny. It's challenging because it requires you to stop blaming others and take full ownership of your results. When you accept complete responsibility for creating your own life, everything changes. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become the architect of your future. You stop waiting for someone else to save you and start saving yourself. You stop looking for excuses and start looking for solutions. This doesn't mean that everything that happens to you is your fault. External events, other people's choices, and random circumstances are often beyond your control. But your response to these events is always your choice, and your responses, accumulated over time, create your life experience. Taking responsibility is liberating because it means you have the power to change things. If your life isn't what you want it to be, you can change it. If your relationships aren't fulfilling, you can improve them. If your career isn't satisfying, you can redirect it. The power is in your hands. This mindset also builds incredible resilience. When something goes wrong, instead of asking, "Why me?" you ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of feeling powerless, you look for ways to regain control. Instead of complaining, you start creating solutions. Remember, you might not have chosen your starting point in life, but you absolutely choose your direction. You might not control every event that happens to you, but you control the meaning you assign to those events and the actions you take in response. 12. I stay committed to my goals until they are achieved. Commitment is what separates dreamers from achievers. Many people set goals, but few people maintain the dedication required to achieve them. They start with enthusiasm, but when obstacles appear or progress slows, they abandon their goals and move on to something else. But true success requires persistence through difficulties. Every worthwhile goal will test your commitment. There will be times when you feel like quitting, when progress seems impossible, when others doubt your ability to succeed. These are the moments that determine whether you join the ranks of the successful or remain among the majority who give up. When you declare that you'll stay committed to your goals until they're achieved, you're making a sacred promise to yourself. You're saying that temporary setbacks won't derail you, that slow progress won't discourage you, and that obstacles won't stop you. This commitment becomes a source of tremendous strength. When things get difficult, and they will, you won't waste energy debating whether to continue. You've already decided. Your only question becomes how, not should I. Think about any significant achievement in your life. It required sustained effort over time. You didn't learn to walk, read, or drive in a single attempt. You persisted through failures, setbacks, and frustrations because you were committed to the outcome. The same principle applies to any goal worth achieving. Commitment also creates momentum. When people see that you are truly dedicated to something, they become more willing to help you. Resources appear, opportunities open up. Doors that were previously closed begin to open. Make this commitment real by writing down your goals and reviewing them daily. When you're tempted to quit, remind yourself why you started. Focus on the progress you've made rather than the distance remaining. 13. I see opportunities where others see obstacles. Your perception shapes your reality. Two people can face the exact same situation and have completely different experiences based on how they choose to interpret what's happening. The pessimist sees problems everywhere. The optimist sees possibilities. The successful person sees opportunities disguised as obstacles. Every great fortune, every revolutionary invention, Every breakthrough achievement began with someone seeing opportunity where others saw only problems. When others saw a dirty, noisy, dangerous form of transportation, Henry Ford saw the opportunity to revolutionize how people move. When others saw the internet as a novelty for academics, entrepreneurs saw the opportunity to transform commerce. This mindset is trainable. You can learn to look for the hidden opportunities in every challenge. When you lose a job, you can see it as an opportunity to find something better. When a relationship ends, you can see it as an opportunity to grow and find a more compatible partner. When you face a health challenge, you can see it as an opportunity to develop better habits. This doesn't mean being unrealistic or pretending that difficulties aren't real. It means asking better questions. Instead of, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What opportunity might this create?" Instead of, "This is impossible," ask, "How could this be possible?" Instead of, "This is the end," ask, "What new beginning might this create?" Opportunity consciousness is magnetic. When you consistently look for opportunities, you train your brain to notice them. You develop what researchers call entrepreneurial alertness, the ability to spot possibilities that others miss. Start practicing this today. Whatever challenge you're facing, ask yourself, what opportunity might be hidden in this situation? You might be surprised by what you discover. 14. I turn every setback into a stepping stone. Setbacks are inevitable. Everyone faces failures, rejections, disappointments, and defeats. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't the absence of setbacks. It's the ability to transform those setbacks into stepping stones toward success. When you tell yourself that you turn every setback into a stepping stone, you're developing what psychologists call a growth mindset. Instead of seeing failure as evidence that you're not capable, you see it as information about what doesn't work and guidance toward what might work better. This perspective is revolutionary because it means you literally cannot fail as long as you keep learning and trying. Every setback becomes a valuable lesson. Every mistake becomes useful data. Every rejection becomes redirection toward a better opportunity. Consider the most successful people in any field. They all have stories of significant setbacks that ultimately led to their greatest successes. Steven Spielberg was rejected from film school 3 times before becoming one of the most successful directors in history. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first television job for being too emotionally invested, the very quality that later made her successful. The key is developing the habit of asking empowering questions after every setback. Instead of, "Why me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of, "This proves I can't do it," ask, "How can I do it better next time?" Instead of, "I'm not cut out for this," ask, "What skills do I need to develop?" This process requires emotional intelligence and resilience. You need to feel the disappointment of a setback without being overwhelmed by it. You need to acknowledge the pain without being paralyzed by it. You need to process the emotions and then choose to extract the lessons. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Every pro was once an amateur. Every icon was once an unknown. They all faced setbacks, but they used those setbacks as stepping stones to climb higher. 15. No matter what happens, I will not give up. This final statement is the foundation that supports all the others. It's your declaration of unwavering persistence, your commitment to keep going no matter how difficult the journey becomes. It's the quality that transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. The history of human achievement is written by those who refused to quit. They faced seemingly impossible odds, endured countless failures, and persisted when everyone else would have given up. Their secret wasn't superior talent or better circumstances. It was an unshakable commitment to continue. When you declare that you will not give up no matter what happens, you tap into a source of power that most people never access. You become unstoppable not because you don't face obstacles, but because you refuse to let obstacles stop you. This doesn't mean being stubborn or inflexible. Sometimes the path to your goal requires changing your approach, learning new skills, or finding alternative routes. But the commitment to reach your destination remains constant even when the method changes. Think about water flowing toward the ocean. When it encounters a rock, it doesn't stop. It flows around it. When it meets a cliff, it doesn't quit. It falls and continues. When it reaches a valley, it doesn't surrender. It pools until it finds an outlet. Water always finds a way because it never gives up on its purpose. You have that same persistent quality within you. Every challenge you've overcome in your life is proof of your persistence. Every goal you've achieved required you to continue when things got difficult. You already have the evidence that you won't give up. Now you're just consciously claiming that power. This statement becomes your anchor during the storms of life. When everything seems to be going wrong, when progress feels impossible, when others doubt your ability to succeed, you can return to this fundamental truth: you will not give up. And as long as you don't give up, success becomes not a matter of if, but when. Now that you understand the power of these 15 statements, let me guide you through the specific process that will transform them from words into life-changing habits. Step 1. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. This is non-negotiable. You must create sacred time for this practice. Set your alarm 30 minutes earlier than usual, and do not check your phone immediately upon waking. Your phone is filled with other people's agendas, problems, and distractions. This first 30 minutes belongs to you and your mental programming. Step 2. Find your sacred space. Locate a private area where you won't be interrupted. This could be your bedroom, bathroom, a quiet corner of your home, or even your car if necessary. The key is privacy and the ability to speak aloud without feeling self-conscious. Step 3. Stand before a mirror. If possible, position yourself in front of a mirror. Looking directly into your own eyes while speaking these statements creates a powerful connection between your conscious and subconscious mind. If a mirror isn't available, simply maintain strong, confident posture. Step 4. Speak each statement aloud. This is crucial. You must speak the words aloud, not just think them. Your voice creates vibrations that your body feels, and this physical component strengthens the neural pathways being created. Speak with conviction, power, and emotion. Step 5. Repeat each statement twice. Say each statement once as a reminder to yourself, then immediately repeat it as a command to your subconscious mind. The first repetition plants the seed, the second waters it with increased emotional intensity. Step 6. Conclude with 3 minutes of silence. After completing all 15 statements, stand or sit quietly for 3 minutes. This is when your subconscious mind processes and begins to accept the programming you've just provided. Don't think about your to-do list or problems during this time. Simply remain in a state of quiet confidence. Step 7. Choose one action. Before beginning your regular morning routine, identify one specific action you will take today that aligns with these statements. This bridges the gap between intention and implementation. The power of this morning ritual lies not in perfection, but in consistency. You must commit to this practice for a minimum of 30 consecutive days to begin rewiring your neural pathways. Missing even one day during this initial period significantly reduces the effectiveness because you're interrupting the formation of new habits. After 30 days, you'll begin to notice changes in your thinking patterns. After 60 days, others will comment on changes they see in your confidence and demeanor. After 90 days, these new thought patterns will feel natural and automatic. The transformation you're about to experience will touch every area of your life. Your relationships will improve because you'll approach them from a position of strength rather than neediness. Your career will advance because you'll make decisions from confidence rather than fear. Your health will improve because you'll treat yourself with the respect you deserve. Your finances will grow because you'll take responsibility for creating value rather than waiting for luck. But remember, knowledge without action is worthless. You now possess the same morning ritual that has transformed millions of lives. The question is not whether it works. The question is whether you'll work it. Your future self is watching this moment. They're hoping you'll make the decision to begin this practice tomorrow morning. They're counting on you to invest these 30 minutes daily in creating the life you've always dreamed of living. The alarm will ring tomorrow morning. You'll have a choice. Hit the snooze button and continue living as you always have. Or rise 30 minutes earlier and begin the transformation that will change everything. Or rise 30 minutes earlier and begin the transformation that will change everything. Your extraordinary life begins tomorrow morning. Make sure you're there to claim it.